They mocked him. They called him a joke, a clown in a suit, someone who'd never be taken seriously. But what they didn't know was that this man, Donald J. Trump, had spent his entire life preparing for the moment they'd all doubt him. Born in Queens, New York in 1946, Trump wasn't born poor, but he wasn't born a king either. His father, Fred Trump, was a real estate developer who built middle-class housing. Donald, he had bigger dreams. As a teenager, he was rebellious. So much so that his parents sent him to military school. There he learned discipline, structure, and how to stand his ground. It wasn't a punishment, it was training. He studied economics at Wharton, one of the best business schools in the world. And then he entered his father's world, real estate. But he didn't just follow footsteps, he built an empire. While his father stayed in the outer boroughs, Donald set his sights on Manhattan, the center of the world. He bought the run-down Commodore Hotel and turned it into the Grand Hyatt. Then came Trump Tower, a symbol of power, gold, and ambition. He wasn't just building buildings, he was building a brand. Trump, a name that screamed wealth, boldness, and controversy. But behind the golden letters was a man facing constant fire. He went bankrupt, not once, not twice, but 6 times. He was mocked by the media. Business experts predicted his downfall. They said the Trump name was finished, but he didn't quit. He rebuilt, he fought, and he used the media not as an enemy, but as a tool. Then came television. The Apprentice made him a household name. "You're fired" became a cultural phrase. Suddenly, Trump wasn't just a businessman, he was a celebrity. But deep down, he wanted more. He flirted with politics for years. People laughed. "A reality star? President? You must be joking." In 2015, he came down that golden escalator in Trump Tower and announced he was running for president of the United States. The world laughed again. Comedians mocked him. Pundits predicted he'd drop out in weeks. His own party dismissed him. But millions of Americans saw something else. A man who wasn't polished, but real. A billionaire who spoke like a working man. A businessman tired of politics as usual. And then, he won, against all odds. Against the media, against the political elite. He became the 45th president of the United States. And whether you love him or hate him, you can't ignore him. Because Donald Trump taught the world one powerful lesson. Never let the world's laughter drown your purpose. He turned rejection into fuel. He turned failure into fire. He turned criticism into a crown. And today, as history watches him again, the same voices that laughed once are quiet now. Because Trump didn't just win an election, he won the war against doubt. But his story didn't end in 2016. His presidency brought chaos and change. Tough immigration policies, trade wars with China, and a booming stock market. He survived impeachment, not once, but twice. He faced the storm and stood tall. And then came the pandemic, a challenge no leader could ignore. Some praised him, many blamed him, but no one overlooked him. He lost the 2020 election, yet he didn't disappear. While others would fade, Trump stayed loud. He launched rallies, challenged results, and ignited movements. He faced legal battles, media storms, and political exile. Still, he rose. In 2024, he returned to the battlefield. Older, tougher, louder. The man they tried to cancel became the man millions cheered for again. This wasn't just politics. It was war. It was legacy. It was history in motion. He taught the world that resilience isn't about avoiding defeat. It's about standing back up, again and again and again. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump showed us what it means to refuse silence. So the next time they laugh at your dreams, remember Donald Trump. They laughed at him too, until he became president. And now, they fear his return, because nothing scares the world more than a man who doesn't quit.